Hey guys, in this video I'll be making this part 2 in my Fairy Village series, and this is another little fairy house, and the items needed to make this are, I used a little piece of foil just to give the clay something to sit on while it was baking. I used Primo clay in granite, blush, silver, 2 colors of green, and burnt umber. I used 1/3 of a cardboard roll, translucent liquid Sculpey, and a few rhinestones. I used a 5mm for the door and 12 2mm for the flowers in the bushes. And the tools I used: an acrylic block, or in my case it's a glass from a picture frame that I just taped the edges, a toothbrush for texture on the bushes and the moss, a dental pick. I just like how to do detail with this one, a blade, an X-Acto knife. I used an acrylic roller, but I also used my pasta machine. I use these to handle the rhinestones because I can't handle them with my fingers very well when they're tiny. So I use this because I need to put translucent liquid Sculpey on the back of them before I attach. I use a needle tool, a silicone tool, and of course I used my cuticle pusher. So this is everything I used today. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is put the liquid Sculpey on the cardboard roll. This will help the polymer clay stick to it better. And I've rolled out some scrap clay just to use underneath. I'm just going to stick it to the bottom. And work it in a little thinner as I go up. Okay, this was rolled through on the thickest setting, which is a 7 on my pasta machine. I'm just going to cover up the scrap clay in the brown, or I should say burnt umber. blend these two ends together. Doesn't have to be perfect because we'll be adding lines in a little bit. Okay, next I'm going to take my needle tool and just add uneven lines to make it look like the outside of a tree. It's pretty good. Now we're going to take some more of the brown, just some little pieces, and roll them out so that they're thinner on one end. And we're just going to attach this to the side of the tree to make it look like the root system that's shown above ground. And add lines to the roots. To make the door, it's going to be the same color, burnt umber, but I'm putting small stones in granite around it so it'll be easy to distinguish between the door and the tree. I'm using the back of my blade to make indents in the door to make it look like panels, rough wooden panels. And I'll come back with the needle tool and make the lines and knots. And I'm lifting it up a little off the bottom of the tree trunk because I'm putting a little granite step there. I'm going to try and make some little stones with the granite to go around the outside of the door. And you just take these and put them around the outside of the door, all the way around. So I'm going to finish doing that and I'll be back when I'm done. You can easily see the door now. So now for the roof, first thing I'm going to do is take some foil and scrunch it up to put inside. This is just to give it something to sit on until it bakes. Okay, I've rolled out some scrap clay. I'm just going to put it on top and give it a little press just to see how large a piece I need. And I'll cut around that, the outside edge of that circle. And I'm just going to take this piece, put it back on, and press it in. And this is what I'm going to build my roof on. This will all be covered, so it won't matter what color it is. So first I'm going to take this piece that I had of green that I don't use much of, and I'm just going to make it into a ball. And press down the outside edges just to give it some height in the center. Okay, and press this down. I'll be using a couple different colors of the green. They're pretty close in color. One is a slightly darker, and I'm just going to cut pieces about that big. It's about, let's see, it's about 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter average. And I'm just going to ball these up. And roll out one edge so you've got like a teardrop, and press it out so you have a leaf. Then we'll take our needle tool and we'll come through and make the markings on the leaf. And we start attaching these from the bottom. Okay, so what I want to show you is you can slightly see a little bit of the beige in under my leaves. So I'm going to take these off again. And I'm going to take a little strip of the brown and go all the way around to cover that up. And I'm going to try my best to blend this in. Okay, that's pretty good. And now I'll just take the needle tool and extend my lines. And now I'll start putting the leaves on again. So when I get all these done with the needle tool, I'll be back. Okay, let's see if we can get around one tier. Okay, the last one, you need to lift up the first leaf, slide that one in under, on top of this one, and in under that one. So now we'll start another layer. Again, I'm going to lift the first leaf and slide this one in under and press it down. Piece of clay in the center. And just do a small circle at the top. I'm going to add a little moss. So I'm just going to cut small pieces. Take a little piece of silver. One little piece for the doorknob, and 2 pieces for the hinges. Just going to make a little curl. We'll put this one at the bottom. And twist this one over at the top. Now, of course, we have to put a little limestone on the door. Okay. A little dab of liquid Sculpey. And put the rhinestone on. And just press it. A little thinner. And double it over. And twist. My memory card was full and it stopped recording, but essentially all I did was I rolled up the silver and wrapped it around the rhinestone that I put on the door. I added a little bit extra moss, and I made some bushes, flower bushes. So the first one I did, the second one I'll show you how I did it. So all I did was I took my brighter green, which was this one, and it's just the green in Primo, and I rolled it up to resemble a bush. Use your toothbrush to texture your bush. I put one behind and one in front of the root. And then I took a pink, which is called Blush in Primo. I cut 5 tiny pieces. Roll them into balls and flatten them. To make 5 petals. Join them together. To make a little flower. And then I took really, really tiny rhinestones. Let's see if I can find a ruler. These are 2mm rhinestones. And I just put a little bit of glue. Sorry. So then I just add a little bit of translucent liquid Sculpey. Set it in the middle of the flower. And these rhinestones are iridescent. And stick it to the bush. So you do that for, I put 3 on each bush. I also curled up the edges of the leaves on the roof. So I'll be back when I get the other 5 flowers made. Okay, so I have all the flowers on the bushes. Okay, so now we're going to make a very simple flower. Roll a ball and push it flat. Use something to dent in. Just to make it look like little petals. Like that. Use a tool to dent the center. Put a little TLS in there. And I'm going to be adding another rhinestone. And push it in. I'm making a tiny line in each of the petals. Put a little TLS right on the tip. And then slide your flower on the top. And that's it. So now I'm going to put this one in the oven and I'll bake it for about 45 minutes just because of the extra thickness in the roof, just to make sure everything gets cooked all the way through. And it's on 275 for Primo, and I'll let it cool down in the oven.